Hello and welcome. We're here with the creative team behind Sonic Cellumonials. That's artist duo Baum and Leahy, Amanda Baum and Rose Leahy, sound artist Sophia Björk, and artist and designer Greg Oram Swan. So my name is Jonathan May. I'm an artist, photographer, producer, curator based in London. Sonic Cellumonials is an online cellular ceremony for you and your microbes, where you can experience yourself as Homo microbis, a symbiosis of human and microbe, as you embark on a guided journey into the multi-species dimension of your body from the comfort of your own home. So we're going to find out a little bit more about the creative process and a little bit more under the hood of what you guys have been thinking about as you've been developing the piece. So starting off, what did you learn through the research about this project that you can't stop thinking about?
I mean, the fact that there are more microbes in your gut than there are stars in our galaxy is always a very energizing and mind-blowing thought to come back to. More specifically, one of the favorite parts of the scientific research was this to geek out on the naming of the different microbes. So, for example, at one point you meet a common virus, a bacteriophage that lives in your body, and it's called Cardovirales myoviridae, but that can be translated as something like tailed liquid muscle. So we really like the kind of storytelling aspect of these translations, and in a way emphasizing that science is also a form of world building, and making Sonic Cellumonials a kind of soft space and open space to imagine what kinds of worlds we could build from the perspective of the human microbial symbiosis.
So you're not strictly documentarians, and I'm interested in hearing about what thinking about your work in a documentary context offers your practice.
Yeah, so I think it's really interesting because it's allowed us to think a lot through our process in an alternative, kind of in a different way, using different kind of methodologies than we're used to. And I guess for me, like the clearest thing was like thinking about the duration, the peaks of the experience, the openings, the closings. You've got a lot of these like linear narrative-based things, which has really guided the storytelling aspect of the piece, just specifically because not that other pieces haven't had storytelling in them, it's more just that it's led to a very clear direction of narratives and character building. One being this main one, the Homo microbis, this like human microbial hybrid, which I'm sure we'll speak more about in a moment. But I guess it's led to a lot of thinking about the experiential piece within the framework of this documentary. And so it's kind of led us to kind of consider, construct, like I've mentioned, these narratives from our personal different standpoints within the project additionally. So that's like the audio, the visual and the vocal, and like so the vocal being the guide that pulls you through it. And I guess those thinking about them as an experiential combination has really helped us in this documentary framework to I guess kind of really consider about how these filmic processes of lineation can work in and really have added to our practice as thinking about considering them as like a combination of like works that work in duration together.
Right, really interesting. And so, what would you say was one of your biggest challenges in making the piece?
When working with the sound for this piece, which is a very like a big part uh, of this piece we made. For me, it was a big challenge to work with the voice of the Homo microbis and make it sounding organic and yet non-human was a great challenge for me. But I think we found something very special in Andrea's voice. That's the voice actress. And actually, we by accident exported her voice in a wrong sample rate, which makes her voice deeper and more lacy. And that ended up being a great way to start out working with this voice because it was kind of organic and non-human and lazy and odd at the same time. So, yeah.
And I think following on from that on the theme of Homo microbis as a character, I think that as with many pieces where you're trying to engage with the more than human in the work and make it with and for and about the non-human. One of the biggest challenges is inevitably trying to detract the humanness that you bring to the piece and this very human perspective that you give to the work. And so that is really where this character building of Homo microbis came from. And Homo microbis is this sort of hybrid, this sort of becoming of human and microbe that is like a shape-shifting creature. And it was really trying to lose the human ego within this character and create this feeling of the multitude rather than the individual. That was a big challenge that I hope that people will feel or experience this feeling of multitude in some way.
It's fascinating, and I think you achieve it really successfully in the piece. That's one of my favorite aspects of it. Thank you. So, what's the one idea for this piece that you haven't been able to realize yet?
Yeah, I think again, for me as a sound artist, I would really have loved to work with this piece as like with the physical aspect of making an installation, a sound installation, and yeah, I would just have loved to put like the speaker setup in Baum Leahy's soft installations, and yeah, working with that would have been great. But I'm sure we will have the opportunity in the future to do this.
Yeah, I think we're really hoping that one day this piece will materialize as a big immersive installation and collective in-person experience with big soft sculptural elements and Sophie's sound in the work, and some way for the microbial colonies to also be there as well, experiencing the vibrations and the atmosphere of the work would be a big dream.
We should also mention that we have been advised by two microbiologists throughout the project, Anders Okholm and Olof Borby Pedersen, and we even got to get them to try out the meditation and feedback, which was really fun and valuable to get their feedback on. And we've kind of continuously been trying to figure out if we could integrate some actual microbial data into the making of the visuals and audio, but have kind of made a decision to create it kind of scientifically informed, but with a good amount of imagination and creating the experience and the atmosphere of this internal microcosm, which we can generate scientific data of. But what is the experience of being there? That's maybe something we can explore more poetically and through the artistic.
Which leads me to my last question. So, if one day you could be one of any of the many million of microbial lives that we host in our bodies, what would it be?
I think it would be interesting to be a microorganism that inhabits the gut, such as Bacillus subtilis, because the gut is really like the bustling city or the cosmos of the microbial universe within the body. So I'd be keen to join the multitude down there and meet some of the 100 trillion bacteria that are living there.
Yeah, and in that bustling cosmos, there are also even more viruses than there are bacteria, actually. And one of them is a bacteriophage. And these are actually very useful for us humans because they kill off dangerous bacteria. So we think right now it's incredibly important to appreciate and celebrate the multitude of microbes and the 99% that are fundamental to our lives and keeping us healthy, and making all this, making this strange and wondrous life possible at all. So time to celebrate the 99%.
Well, I will always get behind celebrating the 99%, and I can't wait to celebrate with you guys at the premiere at the festival. It's a really fantastic piece. I'm really excited for it to be shared more widely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.